Hi, this is Chris from Global Village, Toronto and ReadyForIELTS.com. This is the third video explaining what you need to know before taking the IELTS test. And now we're going to talk about IELTS reading. The IELTS reading test has 3 texts to read. There are 40 questions and the test takes an hour. You have to answer and transfer your answers all within the 60 minutes. There are many different tasks to do. I'll show you a few in this video, and we'll explain all the different reading tasks in our online and classroom IELTS preparation courses. The test will look like this, with a question book and the answer sheet. Different than the IELTS listening test, there's no extra time to transfer your answers. So during the 60 minutes, you have to read, answer the questions, and transfer your answers to the answer sheet within the time limit. A lot of candidates I talk to have answered all the questions, but run out of time and don't get all the answers on the answer sheet. This is really a shame to see, because they might have a lot of the correct answers. So make sure that you work quickly to move your answers to the answer sheet. Here's an example of an article that you might see on the IELTS reading test. A lot of candidates will start by reading the article quickly. That's a mistake. At Global Village, our first IELTS reading tip is, if you have multiple choice or true or false questions, don't read the whole article. There's just not enough time on the IELTS test to do that. So we recommend look at the questions right away and just read the part you need to answer the question. Here's an example of some questions at the end of this article. What we're looking at here is a yes, no, not given question. This is very similar to a true or false question, but it's actually quite trickier. A lot of our students have difficulty with this question type, and the teachers will teach you important strategies for this type of question in the Global Village class. One strategy that I want to show you on here is to do all the questions quickly first and to circle the sentence where you found the information. So in your question book, you'll see the articles, and like this, when you find the answer to number 9, number 11, you would circle that and also write the question number. This can help you in 2 ways. First, what happens when you want to find the answer number 10? Well, if I can't find it, now I know where to look. It's between number 9 and number 11. Also, imagine that number 9 is a very difficult question. I recommend putting a little star beside the question number. Answer the question quickly so you don't waste your time. You have enough time to finish the test. At the end of the test, if you have time, come back. And now you know exactly where to look, these sentences here, to check your answer. Here's a different type of question. You'll see section A, section B, section C, and so on the different paragraphs. This is a tricky question and requires a different strategy. Here you have to match the headings with the paragraph as kind of a summary. For the headings questions, different than the multiple choice or true false, my strategy is to read each paragraph quickly first. There's some important tips on how to do this question that we cover in our classes. The other common mistake that we see is that candidates don't know how to answer. But you're more careful than that, right? That's why you're watching our video, to be prepared. Don't skip reading the instructions. In this first question, notice it asks you to write no more than 2 words. This is really important to read that carefully. Sometimes it will say 2 words, sometimes 3 words. If you write too many, you'll get 0, even if you had the correct information. So I really urge you not to skip reading the instructions. Check the instructions really carefully and look out for these points especially. Word count. How many words is the maximum? In this case, 2 words is the maximum you should write. How many answers do you need? Some multiple choice questions will ask you to choose 2 or 3 correct answers. Also, be careful what to write exactly. In the last question we saw, they asked you to write yes or no. Don't write true. That's actually going to be incorrect. To prepare for the IELTS reading, think about how often you read. Vocabulary is really important. So how often do you read novels, magazines, newspapers, biology textbooks, or websites? Now, I've put biology textbooks here because that's the kind of material you're going to see on IELTS Academic, for example. So you want to be familiar with the style and the vocabulary you'll find in there. But overall, improving vocabulary is the most important advice I can give you. Read every day, and read something you enjoy, so you improve your reading skills, improve your reading speed, and learn that new vocabulary. It's also important to do some IELTS practice tests questions. We have lots of IELTS reading test questions and answers with our online IELTS preparation course. Just go to readyforielts.com to register. You'll be able to see the answers, get your feedback, and realize some important question types and your common mistakes. Thank you for watching. In our next video, we'll show you IELTS writing and give you some important advice for that paper. Study hard, and don't forget to check out the rest of our IELTS preparation resources at readyforielts.com by Global Village Toronto.